Okay, so here we are again, another Linux distribution, and what we're going to do is like look at the creators tools and create a workflow and games and things like that for this. And this is Manjaro. Now, what's Manjaro? Manjaro is an Arch-based distribution. If you look at the big tree of Linux distributions, Manjaro is Arch. You've got Catchy, Endeavor, and some other ones. What does that mean? Most Arch distributions are really quick and optimized and quite modern. So you get like the Catchy OS, you get good size. Manjaro's interesting. Manjaro's, how do I say this without offending people? Manjaro's sort of set up, ready to go to use. So let's have a quick look around. Okay, so this is the KDE Plasma desktop, and you've got basically this, which is all your standard stuff here, and then you've got this, which is just a sort of quite nicely laid out software thing. Now, if you watch my Catchy video, I showed you how to put the Flatpak store on and stuff like that. Now in here, you can also do that. You can go to preferences, password. And in here, you can allow third-party bits and bobs. So you can go third-party, enable Flatpaks, gives you access to a lot more software. So from the get-go, Manjaro is sort of like laid out in a much better way and easier to get into. So it's more I think it's probably the most user-friendly Arch-based distribution you can get. So, I mean, it already comes with loads of toys, bits and bobs. So you've got Office, you've got that already. It asks you what you want to install. The installer is quite pleasant on all this. And I've added, as you've looked at my other videos, I've added Alpaca. So I put a llama on, which is basically what you would do is this. You go up to, it's a Manjaro desktop, you go up to a llama, and then you just do this, and then download, and it'll give you a curl command. Now, I always like KDE Plasma desktops that have got console on the bottom because you have to use it. Basically, you paste in your llama script there, it would download, and then you can run the Alpaca, which is the other part. And it also detects I've got an NVIDIA GPU. Where are we? Development. And then Alpaca sits over the top of it. This is an AI tool. Just launch it quickly and go through it. So yeah, so this is an AI front end. So now I can go in here and I can manage my instances. I've added the local llama. The reason I use this, there's one that's built into this. You'll see straight away. It's like create your own. It doesn't seem to use the GPU acceleration. So obviously the llama that you download does use GPU acceleration. That's quite important. It's got a 16 gig NVIDIA card in here. So there you go. So that's sort of AI. I put a Gemma 3 because you can go in here and add more models available, add all those. That's good. What is GNU Linux? Good question. Now this will load into memory. Now, one thing to remember when you use a llama on Linux is it will hold the model in memory for up to 5 minutes. So when you come out of this, your GPU memory is literally clogged up with the remaining model, which can be a bit, if you start to launch another game or something like that. In here, you can actually set it. Let me just do it. Manage instances. Oh, she says manage instances. And it's not let me do it because it's doing its business. As such, stop. Stop. Okay, so if you go into manage instances, if you go into this, you can tell it default model, keep alive. See, it says 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes. So move that down. So you don't want to keep it in, it's like if you go away, if you're working on it, you want it to be there all the time, don't you? But what you don't want is it to reside in memory after you've closed. So basically, if I come out of this now and just show you a command, it shows you how much NVIDIA memory you've got. It's NVIDIA -S, SMI, or I missed an I out. So nice, goes green, tells you've done it right. So you can see Llama is still using 10 gigabytes of video memory. And it'll stay like that because I hadn't switched the thing off for 5 more minutes. So just to be aware of that anyway, you can see here, this is showing my card. It's a 5060 Ti, 16 gig of RAM, and I'm using CUDA 2.9, and the driver version is 575. So yeah, but back to the software store, you can put all sorts in there from that. So let's go back in. So installed, what have I put on here? I've also put OBS. That's in here. So just launch OBS. Here we are recording. That's me. Hi, how you doing? So you've got OBS. That's great. And obviously, because it's an NVIDIA card, you can get the, I know you can do it with the 9060s of the AMD cards, but you get video acceleration straight out of the box. It does this thing when you load it on an AMD card where you have to select the VAPI codec, but with this, it just knows it's got NVENC, which is the NVIDIA encoders. You can see it's sort of like, it's a nice interface. So with the creatives and everything like that, so you've got AI, bit of AI, that's great. You can use that later on. I'll show you a way of using that later. So like Photoshop replacements, you can use for Photoshop, you can use a thing online called Photopea. Brilliant. Photopea, and it's like an online, it's free to start off with, but you got advertising, then you can pay $5 a month for the $5 a month for the paid version without the adverts. So accept. So we go, wake me up before we go, whatever that is there. Okay, so you can see over here, it's very Photoshop like. Text layers, channels, paths, swatches, all of it, all the usual chestnut. I wonder if I right click, yeah. Right click, rasterize, blending options. So whatever we've got here, normal. So it's a very, very similar screen. Very similar to using Photoshop. Layers, new layer. Yeah, so this is, I mean, this is just basically Photoshop in the cloud, isn't it? So that's really quite clever. So you come out of that. But obviously, leave page. So obviously as well, if you go back to the software store, you've got GIMP, which is, I don't know if I put it on here, GIMP, 150 meg. I won't put it on, but you've got GIMP, which is literally, let's see if that takes a long time. I'll apply it. I'll see if it comes in quickly. We can launch it because you'll see what I mean. It doesn't really, it's not yes, choose those, apply. A few more steps than normal software installers, but it's going in, downloading it. Okay, that's there. So that was pretty quick. So let's just launch it. Graphics, GIMP. You'll see what I mean. It doesn't really, it's not really Photoshoppy as such. It's not quite close. It's a bit of a mixed bag. Very not quite like what you're used to. So what you can do is you can actually use, if you look for it online, there's a thing called PhotoGIMP. If you look for this, here it is, and you download it, and then you install it, you'll get it to look really similar to Photoshop. So and you have to do it for the flat pack version, all this sort of stuff. So yeah, so it'll look very Photoshop. So that's a good way to go. So for vector art, stuff like that, you've got Inkscape. You know, there's a really cool tool here called Inkscape. Let's have a look. Inkscape. That's a vector-based tool. There's tons. If you go through this store, the Flatpak store and the one that's already installed, I mean, there's so much software you can use. And find a way to replace what you're doing on a PC or on a Mac. Blender, amazing 3D package. Minecraft, I mean, there's tons. So let's just, I want to double check now, see if that AI model's unloaded. So NVIDIA hyphen, I can just pop that, can't I? And still there. It's still rumbling away. It'll clear soon. Just be wary of that. I haven't, obviously it's done 5 minutes. So, I mean, I'm going to launch it. It's, you know, I'm going to launch it, but bear with me if it's a bit slow. So Steam. So obviously one of the main motivating factors between people gravitating over to Linux isn't because they're interested in nerdy stuff. It's because you can play games. And Bazite, SteamOS, Chimera, and even Catchy like that, they're optimized for gameplay. And the really cool thing about that is, you know, it's like a translation layer. Proton is a translation layer that allows you to play the games. Now, you know, it's how does it work? Why does it? Can you get games that are sometimes faster than Windows? Well, if you can imagine, like Linux is using that many resources, and Windows is using that many resources from the beginning. If you then stack on a translation layer here and then start the game, that it's going to end up. Do you know what I'm saying? It sort of offsets it because of how much rubbish Windows actually does. So you've got a really clean installation. It gives you a better starting point. So I've got something installed in here. I pick home. What's ready to go? Let's do Dredge. If it's on here, I think I put Dredge on here. Dredge. There we go. Oh, I haven't installed it. Interesting. Okay, let's quickly install Dredge. That shouldn't take long at all. He says starting download. I thought I installed that one there. Or maybe I've done something else. What else have I got in here? Anything ready to go? Thought I'd actually installed. These are games on my stream. Yeah, these are on my other computer. They're ready to go, so there's no use to us. So let me just get one that is actually on this machine. PCD Dredge. So it's coming in. Give it a minute. So yeah, and with Steam, you've got basically it's run through Proton. I mentioned sort of Proton, so let's have a look at Proton. So go into settings, compatibility, and you've got Proton Experimental. If you do the drop down, you've got all these versions of the beta at the bottom. You can add in different protons. People have been tweaking this glorious egg roll. There's a catchy proton. People have been tweaking this to make it better so you can play your games, which is amazing. And I mean, I can't see. I think if I go to big picture mode on here, let's try that. Steam view. Let's jump into big picture mode. It sort of shows you at the top bar how compatible your games are. You've got a compatibility rating. I mean, I think they're doing the gold standard thing now. So here we go. So now I've basically turned my computer into a what's it called? Into a games machine. So here we go. It's my game downloading. Steam menu, library. It's slow actually. Here we go. All games connections installed. It doesn't say it. On some of them, it actually says what's compatible. I think it's the I think Basilite's one does. It shows you what's compatible with how many compatible games you've got. You could try everything. And I'm doing that. I've got a thing of shorts I'm doing on my YouTube channel at the moment. Power. Let's get out of this. Exit big picture mode. Where I'm like playing 3 minutes. I've got thousands of these games. I'm playing 3 minutes of each game and putting it as a short to test it works on Basilite. I mean, Basilite's a brilliant installation. If you want to be really into games, pure games, Basilite's pretty much the way to go. Where are we? Let's go to view library. And then we want Dredge. Nearly there. Anyway, once that's going on, what else can we have a look at? I'll do DaVinci Resolve. You might have seen it on the menu. I've got a special installer script to do this because there is a thing called the AUR, which is brilliant, which is a software repository or shop where you can pull stuff down. So I wrote a script to allow you to just download the latest version of DaVinci Resolve, put it into the downloads folder, you run my script, and it will install it using the stuff of the AUR. I think the AUR, there's commands and stuff. I'm just trying to make it really easy for people to use DaVinci Resolve. And when you use DaVinci Resolve, you'll sort of understand how powerful Linux-based operating systems are, especially ones like Manjaro, because they're so optimized and they're so quick. So what else have we got in here? Development, education, games, graphics. What else have I shown you? Steam, multimedia, DaVinci Resolve. Yeah, while that's trundling away in the background, I will fire up Resolve for you. So there we go. Let's just bring it up. And then I've done it. The installer puts it here because it gave me loads of problems with putting a desktop icon on. I may get a memory error here if that alarmist thing's still going in the background. Hopefully not. What have we got here? I've got some footage already lined up. Yeah, I've got a bit of footage in the timeline. Now, one of the key things when you first get this, it may come in minuscule text fonts. So just go to preferences, go to user. You may need to scale the UI. It seems to have done it okay in here. But basically, yeah. So, I mean, editing wise, I've just got somebody else's material here. I mean, look at it. It's perfect, quick. And something that did surprise me, I'm going to render this. So this is red material. Now, we've only been allowed to use ProRes in Linux, like in the proper software. The big version of DaVinci Resolve had the huge Fairlight panel, the big wheels panel, and that would be used. If you had a Linux version, you could use ProRes encoding. Now they've given it to us in this. So if you're doing content stuff, I mean, you've got DaVinci Resolve, you've got Kden Live, but I mean, DaVinci Resolve is the way to go. You can do ProRes only now, which means you can actually deliver professional work out of it. So I'm just going to do test, and I'm going to make sure how big's my timeline. I'm going to check the timeline. Where's it? Where's it? Where's it? There. Right click. Timeline. Timer settings. UHD output. Color. DaVinci. Let's do DaVinci color managed. Okay. That'll give me some color on those shots. Yeah. And then I'm going to deliver it. So I'm just going to write test. It's UHD. So let's do forward. This is ridiculously quick to render. So let's add that to the render queue. I'm going to do a benchmark on this because this is insane. 80, easily 80 seconds. This is debayering red at 4K. And basically, I mean, it's not my footage, by the way. This is just, I found it on the internet. So it's debayering red, 100 frames a second. I mean, I know I've got a reasonable power, but it's a 5060 Ti. It's like a garbage video card, not garbage. It's a low end video card, great for games, stuff like that. So there you go. I mean, you've got, I mean, obviously one of the problems on here, because, I mean, I've installed the free version of Resolve, and there's two versions. So if you get the studio, you don't have any of these issues I'm about to show you. If you use the free version, it doesn't encode or decode H.264, H.265 because they're licensed. And Windows and Mac OS have the licenses for both of those codecs in the operating system. Linux doesn't. So when DaVinci Resolve, Blackmagic give you this software, they give it to you for free. And so they're not going to pay the licensing fee. However, if you've got an NVIDIA card, you do still have this, which is perfect for what you want. I mean, you should be working in AV1 if you're doing streaming or anything now. It's a free codec. It's devised by like Google, Netflix, Sony, because they don't want to pay the licensing fee either. So it's in here. So you could basically do your OBS stream. This OBS stream is being used in AV1, and then you can fundamentally, you can render it out, do the editing here, and get it out the door, put it on your YouTube. You don't need to go into H.264 even with the free version. So this is the free bit. So I'm saying, so let's come out of that now, and that game's not loaded. So we'll just quickly launch Dredge. Don't know why it's done the gigantic screen thing, but I mean, it seems okay. Dredge is running. Give it a sec. There's the game. So there's a lot of videos comparing the performances of games with the different Linux OSs. They're all pretty close, like Bazzite, Catchy. There's certain things you can introduce. I think it's sort of feral games mode, things like that allow to optimize the processor usage. So, I mean, if you're really into games, I'd go with Bazzite. You can still put Resolve on Bazzite. You can do just as much. You watch, I've got a creators video on Bazzite. You could literally do as much as you want on Bazzite as you can on this. And there's a few more restrictions. Bazzite's an immutable operating system. It's difficult to tweak it, I think that's the best way to put it. There you go. Great game. Amazing game. Dredge. Indie. 4 people or something like that. And they've made an amazing game. Great fun. But quick. I mean, you just basically end up just going through all these things. Let's get out of Steam. All of these. Exit Steam. I go through all of these, try them, play them. So I can't think of what else I need to show you on Manjaro. It's a really, if you want Arch, I know Catchy is fantastic and then sort of the bell of the ball at the moment. Manjaro is brilliant. It's sort of like, it's not too technical. It's does absolutely, the only thing you need is the script I've got for DaVinci Resolve installation, and then it makes it a breeze. You've got all the apps you could want. You've got, email, everything like that. You've got Photoshop placement. You've got DaVinci Resolve, the free version, the studio version. You've got AI. I mean, that's crazy, isn't it? You can just download AI models. I mean, I think in one of the videos, if you link it with Grok with a Q, not a K, you can actually download their Whisper model into that and then do transcription, because you don't get transcription in DaVinci Resolve. It's free version. So yeah, there's so much you can do. You've got your games, you've got your content creation, you've got AI on Linux. So you've got a free operating system, free AI. You pay 225 quid if you want for DaVinci Resolve, will get the free version, and then the games you pay for. So I mean, we don't mind paying for games. Games are great. So you've literally got everything here, and so you can, one of the reasons I flag paying, doing the AI locally, is it is strange. I mean, we've got into this strange world of like multiple subscriptions to tons of different AIs. Like I've got a ChatGPT, a Claude, Grok, all these things, like Netflix. It's like the same as Netflix, Hulu, Disney, Paramount, Amazon, and you won't get sucked into things. So if you can do this locally, a lot of it you can, and you don't realize how powerful, what you can do with the desktop. If you wanted to, in Llama, he says development, sorry, in Alpaca, you can download the 20 million parameter model, which is from OpenAI. So if you go to, now this will clog your machine up. I mean, I've stopped using this in my demos because it won't clear the memory. ChatGPT OSS here is basically a ChatGPT. You've got a 14, and that fits perfectly inside a 16 gig. So you can do tons of AI work. Which is a 20 billion parameter model. You can do the 120, but I would do. So I mean, if you want to do it quicker and save money with AI, use Grok. I'll show you that. Can it make more sense? You basically hook this into the cloud. It's not OpenAI, and you pay per token, and it's stupidly cheap. So let's have a quick look. So if I wanted to use ChatGPT OSS 120 billion parameter, it's 15 tokens for input for 6.6, whatever that is, that's millions. And then it's whatever cents out, 1.3 million. So it's so cheap, and you pay as you go. And 120 billion parameter model will do a lot of what you want to do, I can tell you, if you know what you're doing. I mean, I think people jump between them because they think they're not getting enough power or the right answers. Anyway, so that's Manjaro. It's brilliant for creators, for anybody, for gamers, everything. It's a great operating system. And yeah, if you've got any questions, let me know. I will put the script to do the easy install in the I'll do the script to the easy install in the description. And if you've got any questions, feel free to just ask in the comments, like, subscribe, whatever. And thanks for watching.